Have you always wanted to create a small business, but you're not really sure how to juggle your 9 to 5? Well, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to balance working on your small business while also working at your 9 to 5, which isn't easy, right? A lot of people struggle with the work-life balance, especially balancing a new business or new side hustle on a ready busy schedule. So I'm going to be sharing practical tips and how to do this the right way without burning out or getting frustrated and quitting. You got to set goals and priorities. This is so important regardless of where you are in life, regardless of whether you are working on your small business or whether you're thinking about starting a small business or whether you are trying to figure out if you could start another side business or another small business. You got to have the right priorities. You got to set your goals. You got to be clear. When you are clear about your goals, when you're clear about the steps you should take, it's a lot easier for you to deal with life's hurdles, life's complications, and even juggling numerous jobs at the same time. A lot of people tend to struggle because they aren't clear. They aren't clear with what they want to do, they aren't clear with where they want to go, and they aren't clear with the game plan for success. And this is so important. You gotta have a game plan for success. Now, before I go on number two, I want to just explain further. Being clear basically means how many hours do you want to spend on your side business a day? How much money do you want to make from your side business? How are you going to market your side business? What are you going to do when you make the money from your side business? How much time are you going to spend on whatever tasks you need? And when can you squeeze it in? Do you have to wake up earlier? Do you have to go to bed later in order for you to focus on your side business? The more clear you are, the easier all this becomes. Now, going to number two is all about setting a schedule that fits right for you. This is why I spoke about figuring out the times, right? Do you need to wake up a lot earlier? Do you need to go to bed a lot later? For example, you want to have about 1 to 2 hours on your side business. Maybe that means going to bed later on, especially if you're a night owl. If you're a morning person, maybe it means instead of waking up at 7, you wake up at 5 or 4:30, depending on what you're comfortable with waking up at. Not a lot of people want to wake up at 4:30. So it all comes down to where does your comfortability lie. You gotta maximize productivity during the limited time you have. Let's say you finish work around 5 p.m. and maybe this means that you get home around 6, 7 p.m. and you don't have enough time to focus on your side business. You could basically spend maybe an extra 30 minutes before you log out. Or you could spend 30 minutes of your break during lunch, right? Focusing on your side business. Maybe it also means on the train going home or going to work if you commute, you do that. It's all about timing, it's all about how to maximize your productivity, and it's all about figuring out where you can slot in your side business in, right? It doesn't have to be 2 hours straight. It could be 30 minutes between allocated times throughout the day. Now we go to leveraging your day job skills. Now, what this basically means is that regardless of what job you do, you're going to have transferable skills. Transferable skills are skills you can use regardless of where you work, what industry you work at, or what you decide to do later on in life. It could be customer service, it could be marketing, it could be project management. So you can use your day job skills as a way for you to leverage your side business or for you to make your side business a lot more successful, especially if you've got experience with marketing and project management or even customer sales. Those are all extremely important, especially when you're focusing on an online business, because when you're dealing with people who are interested in your products, you need customer service. If you're dealing with trying to figure out how to sell your products online, you have to have marketing. If you want to figure out how to manage your business or manage your projects, you need project management. So your skills can make it a lot easier for you to manage your day job. But not only that, but for you to manage your side business as well, because then you can figure out what fits and what doesn't. And here's another thing, you could also get a virtual assistant who could help you with certain things you can't do. For example, if you want a website built and you don't have the time to do that, you can easily hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork to create a website for you. Or you could just throw something on Canva and use that as a temporary site just to market yourself. So there are ways around this, especially if you feel like you've got limited time. There are ways around it. Now, another thing is you got to set boundaries. Boundaries are extremely crucial because boundaries help you to know where your limit is. For example, if your friends want to go out partying and you want to focus on your side business, you can set boundaries and say, no, I can't do this. You got to learn to say no. When you learn to say no, it makes life so much easier for you because then you don't have to feel bad by saying no to not doing something. A lot of people tend to struggle with saying no because they feel that, they can't. They feel like they are required to say yes. They feel as if they're disappointing their friends or their family members if they say no. But here's the thing. This is why in the beginning I said you gotta understand, why you're doing this, but you also gotta understand, that the purpose of this business and set clear goals so that you are able to understand where you should go forward. This all ties together with boundaries because when you understand the importance of your business, when you understand what your business is, when you've got passion for it, if you've got a higher purpose for it, right? If you're doing it just to make money, you're going to give up. But if you're doing it because you're passionate about the subject, you're passionate about the niche, you're passionate about bringing out whatever project you're doing, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to stand your ground. The other one is finding support. Finding support looks different than it did 10 years ago. Finding support 10 years ago was going to in-person events, paying for in-person mentorship, making sure that you were part of in-person communities. Nowadays, everything's online, so you can literally go on Facebook and that is a support group. You can literally go on Instagram and find people who align with whatever passion you have, and that is a support group on itself. You could go to TikTok and the same thing. You could form communities on Facebook. You can form communities online space. Okay. So it's a lot different than it was years ago where you had to go to an in-person event and spend hundreds of dollars in order for you to go there and make connections. Things are different. Networking is different. And a lot of us need to realize that networking has changed its face. Not saying that in-person events are now outdated. They're still extremely important. But in-person events aren't the only way for you to get support, aren't the only way for you to join communities. The next two is all about reassessing and adjusting. This is all going to be a difficult thing to do in the beginning. But as soon as you figure out what works and what doesn't, you readjust. You reassess and readjust. And you keep doing that until you figure out what works for you. On to the last point. You have to celebrate whatever small win you have. Even if the small win is you just creating a website, celebrate that. Even if your small win is you getting a course or a project done without even selling it, celebrate it. Because the more you celebrate your small wins, the more excited you are for you to scale or to go forward a lot faster. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. And if you like this video, please like, please subscribe, because I want to make sure that you're notified whenever awesome videos are coming your way.